I've put together some information that I'm calling the naked truth about money, tools to help you make informed financial decisions. And the first thing we want to focus on is the big picture, and that is saving and investing for an extended period of time to provide you with the funds to spend 20 or more years in retirement. And we're going to look at 5 basic steps. The first step is financial goals, saving, investment, and retirement goals. And we're going to look at, for example, something very simple as taking a closer look at credit cards. What does it really cost to use them? Also, when we're looking at a saving goal, is it possible to save money on a home mortgage? And my answer is absolutely, and I've got a great example to share with you. And when it comes to investing, what tools are available for you? There's both a savings, Social Security, individual retirement account, pension fund, and 401k. The ultimate financial goal is reaching retirement age with a well-funded portfolio. So we're going to step you through a 4-step process of saving and investing and managing withdrawals. Step number 2 is types of investments. We're going to look at stocks, bonds, cash, and mutual funds. And note the historical investment returns of each, positive for stocks, bonds, and cash, and how inflation can also affect the money that you're saving and investing. The power of compounding. This is what allows money to grow over time. And the 3 that I mentioned previously, stocks, bonds, and cash, all grow at a different historical rate. And later on we'll explain how that can affect your portfolio and your earnings. We also want to introduce you to mutual funds because there are thousands of them out there, a lot to choose from, and we need to define the categories and also what the differences are. Step number 3 is the U.S. stock markets, and we're going to look at 4 major markets: the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Standard & Poor's 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 3000. Here is a chart showing the historical returns from 2000 to 2012 for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You'll see the years across the bottom, and you'll see the percentage increase and decrease both graphically on the right and also in numerical terms on the left. And when we do an overlay of all 4 markets, you can see how the divergences are affected by the different markets, and we'll explain that a bit more. Number 4 has to do with retirement accounts and differences between them. We want to look at contribution limits, catch-up allowances, tax advantages, and withdrawal options. The 4 different types of accounts that we're going to be talking about are 401ks, IRAs, individual retirement account, Roth IRAs, and pension funds. Now, when it comes to maximizing your retirement savings, there are contribution limits for folks up to age 49. There are contribution limits and catch-up allowances for folks age 50 and over. And all of that comes into play when we look at portfolio concepts and how we diversify our portfolio, rebalance it, and establish our asset allocations. The first example is diversification. And what that means is when we look at the totality of our portfolio, what percent might be in different categories, whether it's in a domestic equity, a foreign equity, a treasury, a bond. All of that mix allows for an individual to add diversity to their portfolio and reduce risk. Another example we want to talk about is rebalancing to your targets. So at the beginning of the year, for example, if you have a 30% target established for your domestic portion of your portfolio and at the end of the year, it has grown to 37%, you may want to consider rebalancing your portfolio back to your original targets. The next thing we wanted to talk about was asset allocation, and that is how we define what portion of our portfolio will be in stocks, bonds, and cash at different portions of our life. A larger stock portfolio is probably appropriate for the younger generation, and one that's more heavily weighted in cash or fixed income is more appropriate when we are in retirement. So we're going to go into that in detail. I know this is a big, hairy, audacious goal to save regularly, invest wisely, and retire with a well-funded portfolio. But if you maintain your focus and your discipline and spend some time learning about the process of saving, investing, and planning for your future, and use these 5 steps, setting goals, understanding investment types, learning about the stock markets, planning your retirement, and maintaining your discipline in your portfolio management, you can take control of your financial future. I welcome you to follow me on Twitter. I'm at money_wonk. Finally, I'd like to dedicate this class to my mom, who encouraged me to follow my passions and who would have been proud to see the completed collaboration. In loving memory of Nan Scott.